Alright, how's it going, guys? I guess I do have a couple of quick announcements. If you don't really care to hear them, I'll probably plug like a little hyperlink or something up here. But not to directly rip off of Xenon's video, but I did notice that the day that, I asked you guys to hit thumbs up at the end of the match, I did get a lot of likes and I got a lot of subscribers that day. So his video was partially right in the sense that the more times a video is liked, the more times it'll show up in the recent activity box for other people that are subscribed to other people. It's kind of like the, oh shit, what's that movie I'm thinking of? Pay It Forward, there you go. I think that's the movie I'm thinking of, where one person forwards something to, like, two other people, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it goes through the recent activity box, and when more people see the video, more people will be inclined to watch it, more people will sub in return. And if you really do like the material, then just one press of a button at the end of the video is really all it takes. I don't really feel that I ask for too much from the community. I mean, if you do like it, click like. If you don't like it, then feel free to do whatever you want. But those of you that do enjoy my material, just a little click of the green button really does help, because it allows me to reach more of the community a lot easier, I guess. And I do have some black and white battles. My saves kept glitching up. I did have 3 battles, and when I went to record them, none of them showed up. In fact, it said I didn't have a video, but when I went to look at the video, it pulled up the last video of the person that I got the save from, who is incidentally the person I fought in this video. Just a transition to it. It's Dangerous 36M. And this is a 4th gen match. I do have a couple of 4th gen matches backed up. I will still be doing both generations, but here's a 4th gen match we had before I had my black and white going. So we'll go ahead and, where is it? Okay, we'll go ahead and play it back right now, I guess. No, wait. Just kidding. Now. Okay. So we had an NU match because we decided that was my that was both of our tier preferences, and I led with Sneasel as always because I don't know, I've had a lot of success recently with Sneasel, and I guess he was fearing the fake out or something. So I went with the Swords Dance. The reason I lead with Sneasel now is because it speed ties with Jump Love, which is also another popular lead. And I can break the sash with an Ice Punch, and more than likely it'll always get scared, or it'll U-turn if it has it. But yeah, you don't really see too many offensive leads in the metagame anymore. They usually just go for the rocks, go for the taunt, and then get out of whatever. But I go right for the Swords Dance right off the bat, which is really cool because it does threaten the Sand Slash. But because I'm not at full health anymore thanks to the Earthquake and I didn't take it out, I am at very low health where a priority user can very easily come in and just take me out, as is what happens right now when this Perugly decides to go ahead and fake out. Now, I don't really see Peruglies that often, and it's the exact same set I always see, so I'm not really that surprised. And I know the thing that's going to give me a lot of trouble is deciding with Lapras, when is going to be good to use Ice Beam and when is going to be appropriate to pick Surf as well, because Perugly does have Thick Fat, which I do find, somewhat of a fitting move, but I don't know. I just don't like that ability on it, but it does create that mind game, because right here, if I do go for the Ice Beam for the obvious stab, he could just go out to Perugly and then just keep fake outing, and then he could take advantage of my lowered HP and go from there. But despite that, I do decide to go for the Ice Beam, and it's always nice to see just different Pokemon in NU. Like, this is my first time in years seeing a Noctowl, so it's refreshing to see it. I do remember, if there's one thing I do remember, it's that they're really well for their tier standings. They're very specially bulky, I guess. So all I can really do is stay in here. I decided to switch up moves just to see if he was going to switch to try to take something else, or if I could get the Parahacks in, whatever. Doesn't really matter because it is just going to keep Nightshading and whatever. I don't really know all of its moveset, and I'm trying to force it so it does reveal the rest of its moves, as seeing as how all I really know right now is Nightshade and Roost. And right here on this next turn, I do believe it reveals its third move after lefties. A little bit of a stall bit here. Not really too concerned with it because you don't really see stall that often in NU, so it's fine. At least you're stalling with some unfamiliar faces. And its third move happens to be Psycho Shift, which is bad for me, and that's really cool that he packs it because, you know, I don't see a Noctowl, and then I see the Psycho Shift, I'm like, oh, well, that's fucking cute, but less cute, more of me dealing with the Toxic. And so I decide I'm not doing fucking anything to this Noctowl. I'm not going to get anywhere at all. So I'm going to go into my Ampharos on the Predicted Roost, and despite it having a good Spec D, it still will get scared off by a Stab Thunderbolt because I know it'll still do a hefty chunk, if not a one-hit KO, because Ampharos has a phenomenal special attack stat. But I bluff that and I go for the sub, and then he just brings in something that walls the shit out of me. So I can't really do anything. I figure I don't want to waste the sub, so I'm going to try to T-Bolt regardless and see how much damage I can do. Now, I know Vileplume from my battle with Blame Truth is really bulky, and I'm surprised it doesn't see more face time in NU because of its natural bulk. Its only really inferior stat is its speed, and you know, you can remedy that with Sunny Day. And granted, yeah, it does have somewhat of a poor move pool, if I remember correctly. Pretty much just limited to stab moves, and then you can get HP fire going or whatever you want to do. But he does predict my switch. I was scared of the Sleep Powder, so I go out to Lapras to try to take the status. Heals for Leech Seed, and I want to go for the Ice Beam here. In my mind, I was like, I'm going to go for Surf, because he's going to switch to Purugly. And he did go to Purugly, but I went with it anyway because I really didn't want to over-predict. And the last Purugly I fought, I went with Ice Beam on it. And I did around that much damage, which is always welcome, so I don't know, not preoccupied by it. But the fact that I did have the thought in my head that he was going to switch before and then I went on the other impulse anyway. I was like, why did I do that? I knew he was going to do that too. I guess I thought of it as too aggressive of a play. Anyways, I go into Ampharos expecting the static, and I do get the static. I didn't really have much of another thing for that. And I do find that funny because he went for the Body Slam to try to get me paralyzed on the switch in, and I'm the one that got him paralyzed. So in real time, I was pretty much just laughing my ass off that I actually pulled it off. And so as not to over predict again, I just go for the Focus Blast. Maybe KO the Purugly. I don't know, maybe get a Spec D drop on whatever comes in. So that's all good. All fine and dandy. And I go to Lapras again because, once again, I'm scared of status and I still haven't seen... All I've seen are Sub, Leech Seed. I think I saw Sludge Bomb. I still haven't seen the fourth move. It might be a Grass move, or it might be HP Fire. It could even be Sleep Powder. I don't really remember because we had this match a little while ago. And once again, I'm just kind of ad-libbing. I guess that's what I do best. But, as I said, well, I didn't say it at all. I go for the Ice Beam to break the sub. And I know Sludge Bomb more than likely will take me out, and if it doesn't, the Poison will. What do I bring in after this? I think I bring in the one thing that threatens this Vileplume to high hell, which happens to be after lefties, or... Yeah, after lefties, it happens to be my Charizard. And thankfully, since I took out the Sandslash at the start of the match, he doesn't have Rocks up, so I'm actually free to, you know, do what I want without being in danger of getting forced in and out and dying after... Is my HP even or odd? I have the camera blocking part of it. Okay, it's odd, so I would have 2 safe switch-ins, I think. Assuming I could predict them correctly, and even still, I don't think I can do that. I do get the crit. I think I got the flinch, too. Admittedly, that's what I'm going for. Not to play too much on relying on hacks, but this Noctowl does prove to be a gigantic thorn in my side, and I can't do shit about it, because I don't want to bring in Ampharos again and get walled by Vileplume. So Noctowl and Vileplume are bugging me, because I don't really have any solid physical attackers, and even if I did, he takes this opportunity to set up Reflect. So even if I were to bring in something and predict some kind of move and come in safely, there's nothing I can do about it because he set up Reflect. Fortunately, because of Air Slash's high flinch ratio, I do get the flinch, which is great. And I go for the Flamethrower because it's bound to do a little bit more damage. And I get the crit. I'm pretty sure it mattered. because I'm not boosted other than Life Orb. I think, I don't know. Anyways, that did matter, and I was hoping it would do more damage. And here, I didn't even think about the possibility, and this is what, you know, makes it all go downhill. I was like, why would he bring in a Haunter right here? I'm higher base speed, and it was after I picked Air Slash, I was like, shit, he's probably Scarfed. And then here I went into panic mode because I lost my main counter for Vileplume, and I picked the wrong thing to switch in. I wanted to switch in Ampharos, and I also picked the wrong move. I was using my Perif to talk to him on Skype, and then I looked with my Perif at my DS, and I picked the wrong Dragon move. I was gonna pick Outrage despite having the Reflect Up because the Gengar, Haunter, Ghastly Chain does have a fairly low defense, and even with the Reflect Up I could get some solid damage. So now I go into what I wanted to do first, and I know I can take a Shadow Ball because I do have a pretty damn phenomenal Spec D despite the fact I'm not really invested in it. I think I'm just invested in HP. But I go for the Thunderbolt and I take it out, and I'm like, oh fuck, if I still had Dragonair, you know, I would have had a little bit less trouble. I could have the reliable extreme speed on whatever, and yeah. But because I'm slower and I did get, you know, worn down a little bit, he is able to take me out with a hidden power. It's revealed to be Grass next turn as I bring in my Whiscash and I'm just completely obliterated. He is Life Orb, so if I still had my Charizard, I could get some, you know, reliable damage in on it. I guess if I had predicted that switch, or if I had gone to Dragonair initially, I don't know, Charizard did turn out to be a key player because I could have gotten some damage in on this thing just thinking about it, but that's what happens when you're not paying attention to the match 100% and you're focused on something else, and one misplay really can make the rest of the match go down the drain. I still had fun, and thinking about it, if I had managed myself a little bit better, things could have gone a little bit more differently. I guess I just needed my head more in the game, but it was still a great match, and obviously that's the end of the game. I do have a couple more Gen 4 matches lined up. I am going to be playing Gen 5 a little bit, hopefully getting one of those matches, assuming my save file will stop glitching up, and thanks once again, Dangerous, for giving me the save file. It's being a bitch, but I'll try to work with it. And that should be about it. I'm hoping to have my first one out by Saturday, since I'll be uploading this on Thursday. If not, you'll see another Gen 4 thing. Not that I'm really complaining, but I have been playing the new metagame, and I gotta say, I guess I'm kind of liking it. It'll take a little while to grow on me. But that's it. Stay tuned.